Revelation 2205. From the 7th of January 1942. Question answering by otherworldly knowing beings. Every spiritual thought establishes the connection with the world beyond. Every spiritual thought is an expression of strength by spiritual friends whose activity consists of imparting strength to beings which are powerless. For knowledge is strength, and the beings in the beyond, which stand in knowledge, also want to transfer knowledge to people in the form of thoughts, thus give them answers to questions which they mentally address to knowing forces, even if they do not consciously request the answer. Man asks questions unconsciously as soon as he thinks about something that is beyond his knowledge. If he now dwells on a question for a longer time, the knowing forces come into action. They mentally whisper the answer to the human being, that is, thoughts jump to the human being, and since he is not yet informed about the essence of the thought, he sees himself as the originator of this thought and the result as his own intellect product. Nevertheless, he builds on this thought again, thus he remains in contact with the giving beings in the beyond while he believes that he has intellectually solved the problem which caused him to ask the question. What the thought really is cannot be explained to people in such a comprehensible way, and that is why precisely these proclamations often meet with resistance. One's own thinking is attributed to the creation of the work, and therefore the credibility of that which is beyond all doubt is also doubted. And only when man becomes clear about the essence of thought does he attach deeper value to these mediations. And yet, the human being will be able to feel the impartation of strength himself, for if he receives thoughts which correspond to the truth, his soul will feel this beneficially and it will impel his will to inform his fellow human beings of the result of his thinking, and thus the human being will also act as a giver of strength by passing on the knowledge which is fundamentally strength from God. Strength stimulates activity, consequently no one who receives strength will be able to be inactive. Every thought conveyed to the human being from the spiritual kingdom will cause him to talk about it, and thus the human being unconsciously places himself at the service of the mature spiritual by contributing towards the spreading of what knowing forces have imparted to him. Consequently, the earthly world is constantly in contact with the spiritual world, for the latter seizes every thought and seeks to answer it as soon as the questioner dwells on his question for a longer time. Amen.